because that's about to be a thing by next week. I actually don't know how that's going to work. All right. All right. We're live.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our 5th community stand-up for Debt Code. My name is Ann Daramola. I'm here with Mark. I think we lost Mark.
Did you?
There he is.
You lost me?
No, we're back. Everything's good.
Okay.
So this is basically how the community stand-ups work. We've got 5 questions. In the future, we might have to trim this down, but it's basically like your regular daily stand-up. Tell us what you worked on last week. Tell us what you're working on this week. Tell us what you need help with. And then give us a resource, something that you discovered that you thought would be helpful for the community. And then we have a wild card question. So if you're following along with us, our wild card question this week is, what is the wildest thing you've ever learned in your whole entire life? And so we'll get to that towards the end. But other than that, this is us. How's your weekend, Mark? How's it going?
It was cool. I was able to chill. Past couple of weekends, I've been back and forth to Philly to see family and all that. But this weekend, we just chilled and just laid around the house. Tried to wash the car today, but the hose broke on me, so we'll figure it out tomorrow. How about you?
Weekend was good. I've been trying to get on the road for like 2 weeks, but my car is still not where I need it to be for what's going to be a 24-hour road trip. So waiting for the car to get fixed. Also, we've had really good weather out here, so I've been at the beach just working from the beach. And then yesterday I had a photo shoot on the beach with my sister. I took photographs of her, caught the sunset. It's pretty chill.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, I like Los Angeles weather. We may not have water, but it's pretty nice at the beach.
Yeah, every time I'm out there, I'm like, I want to live there.
Yeah. I hear lots of different types of stereotypes of Los Angeles from people who are on the East Coast or in the Midwest, and it's really interesting just to hear how people experience Los Angeles differently. But yeah, it's a good place. It's expensive, or it's getting pricier to live out here, but if you have family, it's nice. All right, do you want to start us off with your answers?
I go first.
Sure.
Okay. What I work on the past week? I'm continually working on this library I'm doing. I'm actually working on it now, trying to get these things done. Just a recap. It's a rewrite of a graph database library I wrote before. I realized I did something wrong, so I'm going to start over. I'm getting close, though. I'm getting really close. I'm getting excited about that. Also did a little work on this graphic design project I'm working on with this small community organization in Baltimore. Just a little bit. I need to get back to that. Since I have tomorrow off, I kind of put it off until tomorrow, so I'm going to get back and do more of that tomorrow.
Cool.
What else did I work on? That's really it, aside from work. Working in high school stuff. What am I working on this week? Probably more the same. We need to get together and work on some of the Project Athena stuff that we got. So that's on my list. Definitely the community design stuff. I told them I'll give them something out pretty soon. I have a meeting with them, I think next week, to go over these designs. So just getting something out for them. More grinding at night to try to finish up this library so I can move forward. there's a lot of stuff I have on my backlog that I either want to read or kind of implement or do. I'm going to share one of those with my resource today, so you guys can understand my struggle to catch up. That's it. No, I don't need help with anything. I guess if somebody can give me some time management tips, that'd be good.
Is it time management?
Yes.
Yeah. Real quickly, could you explain the graph database library that you're working on, just for people who are watching and don't know what that is?
Okay, how about I start with what a graph database is? You have your regular relational databases where you have a table, you have another table, and if you want those things to relate, you either point them directly or you can do a bridge table. And you say these things relate one to one. Works well. So worked for 40, 50 years. It's great, solid. Has hundreds of millions of man hours or whatever pumped into it. The graph database is kind of just a more natural representation of how you think of things and how you think of relationships. So you have a node in the edge. You think of a node as kind of a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And you have another node here. You think of an edge as the connection between them. And typically when you think about things, that's essentially what you're thinking about. So you think about your family structure, you think about how you know the garbage man and what the garbage man knows and how it's related to your garbage trash cans and how it relates to cars on the street, whatever. You typically draw this kind of structure mentally. And what a graph database does is allows you to store your data in that structure. Now, there's no inherent benefit to using the graph database or relational database, except if you want to traverse that database, that graph, pretty easily. It allows you to start at a point and walk the graph and say, hey, I want everything in this direction that fits this criteria, and do it multiple steps out, and then bring it all back together in one simple kind of query. Whereas if you're trying to do a relational database, you'll have to have nested joins and subqueries, and then you have performance issues and just stuff like that. I learned the lesson the hard way. That's the reason why I'm so kind of into it right now. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I wrote, which is a Python library to kind of communicate one of the graph databases that I use. And the graph database I use is called Tinkerpop. It's called Gremlin. It's called a Gremlin server. So you write this SQL, this query language. It's Groovy, Java Groovy, but it's a JVM language, but it's used to traverse the graph. And what I did was in Python, since Python and Groovy look very similar, I was able to write a library in Python where you could express a Groovy query in regular Python objects. And that's like the lowest layer. And on top of it, I wrote an OGM, object graph mapper, kind of like a object database mapper, which one did you say?
I think it's Eloquent.
Yeah. Just like that, the Laravel, just like something like that. I was thinking of the other one, the old monster one. But yeah, just like that, except for a graph database. So I had something incorrect in mind with the way I was handling values. And the way the graph database is set up is that a field could have multiple values, which is kind of weird. So it's not like first name and. It was like first name and then like an alias, and then like you can have 4 first names. And I wasn't taking into account. And then each one of those names could have their own properties, kind of like a dictionary, like associative array.
Yes.
So I wasn't taking that into account either. So I'm just rewriting everything and trying to get that core functionality there. Hey, nice.
What's up? I made it.
Hey. Nice. Yay. Good.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Mark was just telling us about his graph database project.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask, as you ended up that one, what are some applications of a graph database? Because we know a lot about how relational databases work right now, like you said, millions of man hours in that. But what are some existing or future implications for extending these kinds of DAO structures?
Well, uh, it's a lot of social stuff. So if you have
Hmm.
connections, if you have friends, and you want to figure out a common problem to solve is called closing the triad, and that's suggest a friend or suggest
Mm.
something based on something else. So you can look at it. You can say this is you, this is your friend has a friend. Then you can say
Uh-huh.
I'm not connected to that other friend. You can easily close that triad, which is a simple
Got
query.
it.
You can kind of do that with a relational database, but with the graph database, you can do it kind of on a grander scale because it doesn't cost much to kind of query that graph as much as it would querying a kind of relational tables in that way.
Yeah. Do
Um,
joins and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, exactly. It's really around just if you have related things that you want to walk, really.
Hmm.
So if you want to be able to start at point A and get to point Z and possibly
Hmm.
come back to point B or something like that, a graph database would be useful for that. And me, I'm kind of
So, so like games would definitely use graph databases.
definitely. And you
Yeah.
look at something like Twitter. Twitter
Yeah.
has their own graph database. I think it's called Flock. It's
Block.
they use it to kind of store who you follow
Uh,
and who the people you follow. It's really shallow. They don't do it really deep. But it's a quick way for them to, I don't know, to figure out that whole, when you visit somebody else's page, it shows you your friends of friends and your friends who follow this person also. Um, there's a Medium article. You guys know Medium, the blog platform,
sure. Uh-huh.
medium.com. They talk about how they use Neo4j, like the leading graph database, to store all their data and to store all the kind of related articles and all that. I can share
Cool.
that. So it's interesting. It's just a
Cool.
it's just a different way to think about the data.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating too. Um, oh, your resource.
My resource. Okay. Um, let's see. Make sure I got the right one. It is a book called Development with Golang, the anti textbook.
Mhm.
Go is something I wanted to pick up for a while. And I think we even talked about it in one of the channels there. But there's just an online book. It's on Gitbook, I think that's what it is, yeah, gitbook.com. And it's just all about developing a web app in Golang. So it's just something I wanted to check out, and I figured it'd be useful for other people who want to get into Go. And I figured since we're web developers, it'll be a kind of easy way for us to understand Go processing and how to use Go.
Yeah. Dee Dee was saying earlier this week that Go is a language to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Should I post it in the chat situation?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead. There it is. I'll post that into Twitter in a bit. So I'm supposed to be on the road this week, but I am not. So I had some extra time to map out the next phase for my projects. So the site clinic, I was writing tests on it last week on the different kind of steps. So there's a step one, create your ticket, and there's just a whole flow. So I was testing each flow to make sure things did what I expected them to do and what each use case was expected to do. I hit a wall. I couldn't figure out on Tuesday night. I just hit a wall. So and we were supposed to launch Wednesday. So I kind of did not launch. And so that pushes everything back about 2 weeks. So that's fine. I'm not kind of worried about it. We gave ourselves enough buffer. But um, there was an issue with the testing framework and configuring that and running all the user flows in such a crunched time. We just needed to back off. So Wednesday, I took the day off, kind of, sort of, and then we just decided that we'll come and do a whole nother work plan to get us into next quarter. So we were actually 4 weeks ahead last week, and now we're just 2 weeks ahead of our schedule, which is fine. It's a good thing to give yourself multiple buffers, time buffers, especially so that you're not stressed out. I learned that the hard way last year, so I'm glad to see that in practice. This coming week, I am actually launching the beta of the um, publishing platform. So that's very exciting. I already have 2.5 blogs that are already posting from it, and one of them is two of them are my personal blogs. One of them is Afrolicious.com, which is a blog magazine that I run. So we'll see how that works and how it handles traffic and how the APIs are how responsive the APIs that I built are. And yeah, we should see. It should work. It should be good. It should be good. I'm very excited about that. It should be good. The thing that I found last week was that the two parts of the framework of that platform, I'm sorry, there's the dashboard platform that you can manage multiple blogs from. That already exists. Like there's a company that does that, and they're called Manage WP, Manage WordPress. So, and then there's, so you can hook up your multiple WordPress blogs onto that. And it's really cool. It's a really nice dashboard, really slick, and it uses the WordPress API. So it was really good to see that, like, my idea has a market. And then a couple weeks ago, I saw the other half of it, which was using content as a service on Contently. So I'm looking forward to this kind of homegrown solution to see and scaling it out. And I hope that by the end of the year, I'll be able to get more blogs to sign on to use it and partner with other people and then take over the blog world by the end of next year. That's definitely the plan. A resource that I found this week is called, where did it go? It's called Code Something Something Something, of course, because that's generally what I'm looking at. Okay, here it is. It's called Code Avengers. And they take you, and it's like Code Academy, you have courses and things like that. But I don't think I've never heard of it until this past week. So this is basically a way that I was researching kind of what kinds of courses exist already, what kind of course content exists already for Project Athena. And I came across this earlier this weekend. It's called Code Avengers, and that's basically like, it's like Code Academy with the levels and the way to learn how to code websites, apps, and just learning how to code in general. It has a really clean interface. I like the interface, but it's also decently priced. So it's not like, it will cost you, as most of these things do, but it's kind of on par with lynda.com. But this is specifically for coding, and it's a cool resource. They have so far, I think the languages, of course, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but also Python, which is good to see because that's also a very useful language, not just for the web, but also if you want to learn how to hack network devices. Python's a good language to learn. So, along with C, but C is a difficult language to learn, so I don't generally suggest starting with that. But either Python or there's another language I forgot, but Python's a good language to learn. So that's my resource. Oh, I forgot to say what I would need help with. I'm probably going to need help with setting up a testing framework that doesn't break our code. So I have a couple of tutorials that I'm looking into that, and these are not, it's not unit testing. These are web tests. So I know there's Selenium, and that's what I've been using, but I broke things last Tuesday, so I need to basically roll it back and see if there's an easier way to make sure that at every step of the user flows, the images are loading in the right places, the text is correct, and the data is flowing, and then we get what we are expected to get. So yeah, that's me.
Can I ask a question about your API, your platform?
Yes.
What are you building it in? Or how do you, if someone wants to join your network, how would they go about doing it?
I'm sorry, can you ask that question again?
I said if someone wants to join your network, how would they go about doing it?
Oh, cool. So they would just need to have their own blog. It doesn't have, it can be either on WordPress or on, I think I'm going to add support for Tumblr by Thanksgiving. So either one of those two blogs, not Medium, because Medium is on somebody else's platform. Tumblr is too, but there's an API that I hook into, so it's easier to manipulate. What happens is, as a part of the network, we amplify each other's posts. So your posts will show up on my blogs wherever the blog is. So let's say I have Afrolicious.com and you have your own blog. If there's a post that relates to one of my Afrolicious.com posts, it would show up. And so this happens already. So there's, I think you've seen it, it's Taboola and Outbrain at the bottom of posts across the internet. They have all the related posts, and then it says this content is provided by Taboola, or sometimes it's Outbrain. And those are just like content farms constantly generating, but that real estate is really critical at the bottom of a post. And so this is a part of a larger strategy to transform the way that marginalized content is distributed. And so far we've all been working in our kind of silos. So I have my own blog, I niche down, and I amplify, but this helps us to kind of amplify each other's work. So by hooking your blog into the network, you can tell us which blogs, which posts you want to amplify, and they will show up on this distributed network. So that's one way that you can do that. Another way that you can do that is you can post from this network. So if you don't have a blog, you can sign on to the platform and write your posts out there and decide, and you can broadcast it to any blog that you have permission to broadcast to. So you can broadcast it to Afrolicious.com. Another platform that is beta testing at the end of October is called Black Thought. So that's basically like Tumblr or Medium for Black thoughts, for Black people. It's spelled T-H-O-T. I'm very excited about that. But you go there, you get to broadcast, you talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever it is, but you use this core platform, and it's branded to look like it's on Black Thought. And oh no, sorry, that's not what I meant. But you log on to the platform and you broadcast to Black Thought, and then you can broadcast the same thing to your own blog, and you can allow that same post to be distributed on other blogs who are connected to the network. And this whole idea is to give us more visibility, because if you search on Google right now for, let's take my post for example. I wrote a post about Kendrick Lamar's performance last year or earlier this year, where he had the Compton in the middle of the map of Africa, and I was outraged. I posted this big rant and raving hot take on why that was very complicated and political thing to do. So, but you can't find that post because everything else, all the big blogs kind of eat up all that traffic. And I couldn't see other people who were in conversation with that idea. And I really want to see those conversations, those organic conversations that happen on individuals' blogs without compromising, without having us all be on like Twitter where that conversation happens. So this is why I'm trying to make everything super distributed so that you can be in your house but still be in conversation with each other without having to give up part of your own creativity or write to that content. I hope that answers your question. There's a long way to it.
It does. I like it. I like it. I'm looking forward to it. How long did it take you to make it?
So it took me, where are we? We're August. No, we're September 4. So I started in July. I didn't work on it straight through. So I would say, let me just look at the Git commits because that would tell me probably like if the time was, I took the time to do it, probably like 4 or 5 weeks total, but it wasn't straight through. So if I counted the hours, it would probably be 100 hours, which is not that much time for it. But I used code I already had. I used Laravel because I'm very familiar with it, so it's very, very quickly. It's nothing that can scale yet. It's just a proof of concept. Oh, and this is the second time I built it, because the first time I built it for something similar to this, it wasn't my platform. It was for a previous gig, so I just kind of refactored it. Yeah, or some of it. Okay, on to you, Jerry.
Okay, cool. And forgive me if it gets kind of loud in here. They're playing spades in the other room. So, yeah, I'm out here at my cousin's house. Had a barbecue, and then my mom and my grandparents came here too. So we're just kind of hanging out here. Okay, so let's see. Last week I was working on my personal site. So I guess the last weekly stand-up that we did, I showed a little bit of what I had going, and I finished it up Saturday night. I was coding all day Saturday. Yeah, thank you. I was coding all day Saturday. It's pretty good. Got it up, and it's still a few little quirks. Like I didn't think to minify the images I was using for the photography portfolio section of my site. So when you load it up, it's kind of like you in Web 1.0 again. And it's taking forever to download the images. But yeah, so I gotta fix that. There's just a few other little quirks that I gotta fix. And yeah, so finished that up. I also got new business cards, stuff like that. So yeah, just very excited about getting that done. And the next week, oh, and you can go check it out right now at Jermaine.fyi. I love that new domain I got. It's pretty snazzy. So yeah, and the next week I'll probably work out those few bugs, and then it's on to the next project after that. And I guess we'll talk about the the project we got going with that code a little bit later. That'll be something I'd like to get rolling on in the next week. But yeah, iron out those bugs and then start on the next project in the next week. Well, nothing I need help with at the moment. Nah, nothing I need help with. Just well, personally, I'm continuously looking for ideas for us for that code and stuff like that. So that's kind of kind of a continuous thing, so not anything I would really help out. And resource. Okay, so um, 2 pages on my site. I have one for my photography and one for any like design work that I do. And I use grids to kind of lay out some of the things. And I think, well, I was trying to look into the Flexbox, the CSS attribute or whatever, which is really cool. Um, I didn't know about it. Well, I guess I know about it, but I hadn't really used it before then. So just kind of when I was looking for that, I was trying to figure out the best way or how to use it, and I came across this Flexbox cheat sheet that is really good. Um, and you can go to johnnybaloney.com slash flexbox dash cheat sheet. Let me copy it right quick, and then I will post it here. And it's really cool. It's he has this whole little visual going down and just kind of stepping through each of the I guess the options for the Flexbox. And it was really good, and it helped me like really quickly just to get my grids going in like 10 minutes, and my my folio was looking really good. So that's a neat resource. Um, I was trying to find another one 'cause this one was kind of small. It's good, but it was kind of small, so I was trying to find another one. But I don't have anything right now, so that's probably gonna be it. Um, yeah, that's it for me, I guess. You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Cool. Your site is fresh.
Oh, thank you. So it was because I was trying to. It was taking me so long to get the animations going on the because you got to do something special with when you're using I guess the routing in Angular. So I think they have you download the animate module and then add some classes to the ngView tag, and it'll actually like animate them automatically, like coming in and out. Yeah, I think it's 2 classes, ng enter and ng leave. So you put those on it. Well, yeah. I think that's You put those on the ngView tag, and it'll automatically animate your pages. So it took me a minute because nothing was working, and I'm like, what's? But that took up like a lot of my time last night, but I got it working. So I was very excited to get that working. But yeah.
All right. So our wild card question: what is the wildest thing you've ever learned in your whole entire life so far? But like you could not believe this was a true fact. Anybody want to go first?
I've been trying to think of one. Like since you sent the message, I've been trying to think of one, and I can't really put my finger on right now. I'll let y'all go while I think of one.
Okay. Mark, do you have one? What?
He's shaking his head like,
I'm waiting to hear yours so I can know where we.
What?
I'm waiting to hear yours so I can know where we going with this.
Oh, okay. So you guys just don't learn anything?
Wait a minute now. Wait, hold on.
just nothing.
Um,
Okay, so this is like, okay, I learned this when I was when I was, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But I remember just like feeling like, oh my God, it is not true. It's not true. And okay, so the sun, um, is like, I don't know how to explain it, but the amount of the number of Earths that can fit into one sun. I forget the number, but just learning the number of Earths that can fit into our sun, not any sun specifically, but into our sun. I remember just being like, holy crap, that's a big sun. I don't know the number, and the number really doesn't matter. And the reason that it was amazing for me was because I realized like how completely insignificant to an extent a lot of things were, and and I remember I was young. I was probably like in elementary school or like somewhere between elementary school and middle school, and I just remember thinking, holy crap, how amazing is that? Now for some people it's learning like, oh, the number of atoms in the universe and how big the universe is and stuff like that. But when I realized like that the sun could literally eat up the earth and not be full, I was so upset. I was just like, this is amazing. This is amazing. It doesn't seem like super like blow your mind wild, but I just remember at that time being like, you know what? That's mighty freaking cool. The sun is that big. That's pretty cool. So it's very basic, but when I was a kid, I just remember just being like, what? So yeah, that's me. Anything else? The wildest thing that you've ever learned?
On that note, I learned that our solar system is rotating something bigger. So we're not.
Say that again?
Our solar system is rotating a bigger object.
What?
Yeah, so it's not.
Really?
It doesn't stand still. You know how you the Earth and all that going around the sun? If you look at it as the solar system moving too, it's like it's moving, we're orbiting the sun, but our whole solar system at the same time is orbiting something bigger. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty
all
wild.
that kind of science, that's pretty wild. Any kind of like space science thing, that's trippy. So our solar system could essentially be another planet.
Yeah, it's like if you want to go back in time, if you figured it out somehow, would you land in the spot where the Earth was, or where our solar system was at the right portion of the we're constantly.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, Jermaine, no pressure. That was a pretty awesome. Like,
yeah, that's I can't top those. Man, I can't really think of anything. It's just like just blew my mind like that. Nah. Not any kind of like fun fact like that. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, I can't really think of anything.
it's all good.
I'll tell you what does blow my mind though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off, but
no, go ahead.
Basically, like freaking procedural generation, like using like procedural generation for like video games and stuff. It's become real popular. But like, so just kind of trying to wrap my head around like how that works computationally, using different algorithms to like. So there's this video game called No Man's Sky, and there's like since we're talking about solar systems, there's 1.3 3 quintillion planets in the game, all created by procedural generation. So, they made these algorithms of different data points, and we're talking about like, ecology, climate, and the atmosphere, the wildlife, the fauna, and like the geography, and all of it's like procedurally generated, and they created like 1.3 quintillion planets or whatever, or something like that, like all in game. I think they actually like, I don't know if it's created when you like visit the planet or not, or if it's already been created. But yeah, through the algorithms, yeah, it's like 1.3 quintillion planets. So I'm just fascinated by like procedural generation. So that might be something I start like really looking into and researching.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Cool. Thank you all for sharing. So, let's see. Anything else that we need to talk about or cover? We do have to talk briefly about Project Athena. So I know that, I kind of just dropped everything by Wednesday of last week. So, but we're back on it. We're back at it again this week. So I know that we decided to go with JavaScript, and it'll be a learning process for a few of us. Didi might help us with developing the virtual machines and things like that. But I also just really wanted to drill down on just the content. So if you guys have anything, I just want to finalize that by Tuesday. I'll put that in the GitHub. That's what I'm looking for. So we set up the GitHub repository. So if you are following along with us and you want to see how we develop this out, please feel free to watch and star the Project Athena repository. And it's git.code on GitHub, and you'll see the repository there. So I'll be dropping.
Is that Trello board public?
Oh, I didn't know we could make it public, but it should be public. I will make that public later this evening. I don't know if it's public or not.
Were you asking the repo?
The repo is public, but the Trello board, I'm not sure.
Oh, the Trello board. Okay.
It's public. Yeah. It should be. Isn't it public by default? No, it's private. I know it. I'll make it public this evening because it's still like afternoon my time. Anything else?
No. So okay, we're gonna be building it in mainly JavaScript. So I guess what other components will we be needing to build this out? As far as like I guess on the back end side of things.
Yeah. So that we probably need to discuss that further too. I don't know. I kind of pushed this to the side last week, but it all depends on how we decide how we decide that the project should look, which is why I want to talk about it. Okay, the board is private. So here's a couple of things. So the basic structure in my brain, which I need to put in GitHub, is we have 3 basic things that need to be taught: HTML, CSS, and basic JavaScript. What each of those things needs is basically 2 modules, and then a map that shows how people are moving through each module. So every individual will have an instance of this map that describes where they are in this process, what level they're on, what badges they've received, and stuff like that. Another thing that we'll need to figure out is how we're going to talk about or describe the journey, the narrative behind this whole Project Athena. I did look into that Greek mythology. It's very violent, so I don't know if we want to go kind of like the, shoot 'em up style, but something that's very organic and that makes sense, and that is kind of a piece of each of our creative sides is something that needs to be there. Third part, the map, the content, the map, the narrative, and then the shareability of it. So how do we make it social? How do we get people to interact with each other, to ask each other for help? Do we need to create like a discussion board that goes along with this project? And then, we can move from there. I do have, we have mean stat. We decided to do mean for now, so we can use the app or they have a couple of generators I've used in the past for a mean stack app, simple generators that we can use to scaffold things or just to get started. But it really is up to anybody. Anybody can go and kind of move it in any direction. I'm just really trying to make sure that the content and the quality of the lessons kind of makes sense. So that's where I am.
Yeah, I think the mean stack could work. I'm just not too sure how Mongo's relations work, how you relate one document to the other, because I think relationships are going to be important. Data. Just to be able to say, here are the 6 modules or the 6 learning courses that you could take. Which ones have you done and how far along are you? We have to just explore that, or if you know, just I don't know, just make sure.
Yes, I don't have Mongo chops. Well, I do, but I do think that we're gonna need to. We'll have to what's the English I'm looking for? We'll have to tease that out as we go through as well as we figure out where.
What's the English word?
Yeah, well, I speak other languages sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, we have to tease it out. And like I said, this has not been at the front of my mind this past 3 days, so it's coming back to the front by 9 p.m. today. It'll be back to the front, and I'll be able to move it forward there.
Cool. Cool.
Trying to see what else. I know I had a question I wanted to ask people, but it's escaping me. All right. Well, anything else?
No. This will be my first I guess big project like this, a web project like this. So I'm just kind of soaking it in from you guys. But yeah, so I'm excited.
Okay. I'm excited that you're excited, that everybody's excited. Please, if you don't hear anything from me, find me on Twitter and say, Ann, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because I definitely came up with the idea and was like, hey guys, let's do this. And so please hold me accountable. So yeah.
So whenever you get a chance, just kind of see where your head is at on the whole design of everything. I definitely like to help out with that. Yeah, I like to help out with that too.
I was thinking yeah, I wanted it to be something distinctly black. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what distinctly black is, but black future. So that, like, let's say if you're in like, if you were transported to 2073 and this existed, you'd be like, oh yeah, them is black people. So that's all I have for the direction. And
Okay.
what does 2073 black design look like? Who knows? But
Well, we
yeah,
definitely wouldn't put Project Athena in the middle of Africa.
what?
We wouldn't put Project Athena in the middle of Africa.
Yeah, let's not do that, because then I would just have to write a bunch of posts and broadcast it on my network. Terrible. But I do like Kendrick Lamar. I also like Kanye, but not in the past 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's all I got. Yeah. All right then. I have nothing. Anybody else?
No.
All right.
Nope. Thank you guys again for coming on. It looks like Mark is becoming a regular. That's
I'll
what's
be
up,
doing
Mark.
that.
Let's say what?
I'll be doing that. I'm old. I'm an old man, so I'll be at home,
Yeah.
get ready for school or work.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining. Thanks to the viewers, whether they're viewing now or later. Thank you guys for watching.
How many views we got last week?
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Nice.
That's a good question. Because it actually matters now that it matters.
uh, 4 views on the one last week. So, you know,
Let's
it
promote.
is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like we have. Wow, there was already a debt code account on YouTube. Wow.
Oh, yeah, well, it's all good. We're better.
Yeah, it's all good. Of course.
Yeah.
Better and blacker. Yeah, so it looks like 4 last week. But yeah, you know, they're there. So, you know, if you want to go and check out our previous stand-ups, you can go look at those. Just to kind of see how things have progressed. And then we'll be back next week, next Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.